Bun regăsit la Field of Markets. Ca de obicei, suntem live la singura emisiune zilnică dedicată piețelor financiare, o ediție în premieră astăzi și vă așteptăm ca de obicei cu comentarii și întrebări interesante în chatul live. Avem invitați, după cum vedeți, de la grupul DNA Agrar, our guest, Jan de Boer, CEO, Peter de Boer, board member and IER manager, and Gabriel, Tico, director economic. Hello guys, welcome to Field of Markets.
Hello, welcome. Glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, it's a premiere for us today because on a daily broadcast it's the first time Dene Agrar is present. It's also the first time we have three guests at the same time, at the same moment live. And it's the first time that we speak in other language than Romanian. So it's very interesting today. But English is in the financial markets language, so our viewers will not have any problem. I propose to start by explaining your activity, your business model. Let's say how the farms, how the company within the group are organized. What you are saying about this?
As the Agrar, we have 15 companies. The main business line is the production of milk. We are, since the acquisitions we did last year, Lacto Agrar, and this year the Uphold Farm, the biggest milk producer in Romania. And a lot of other companies, they support this business. We also have a vegetable part. At the moment, we work across 7,000 hectares. And then we have also companies in the field of logistics and agricultural services. And through this, we have a circular agricultural business model, as well as what does that mean? That means that we produce mainly our own food for our cattle. We have at the moment, we have approx 10,000 cows and young stock. Where we feed them with that, the cows produce milk. That, of course, we deliver to the factory with our own trucks. And with the manure the cows produce, we fertilize our soil. And with that, we produce crops and food for the cows again. So we perform circular agriculture.
Mm-hmm. So my first question for you would be, because as far as I can see, you are here in Romania from 2008. Yeah, so you started the business something like more than 10 years ago. And I would like to ask you how easy or how difficult it is for you, for some foreigners, guys in Romania, Dutch guys in Romania that started the business. And please tell us a little bit within the economic environment. Is it an easy country to do business, Romania, or it's quite difficult compared to, I don't know, other states or let's say Netherlands?
It is not easy, let's say, but okay, you not know nothing, you not know about the law, not about the people, you have to learn everything. In 2009 we started with 23 hectares, we rented, and our goal was to start to manage a farm in 2011. We started with Dutch investors. We had a share in this farm, and we managed the farm, and step by step we were growing. In 2018 we developed complete our own farm, Den Gakut, and our storage facility. We have a 10,000 storage capacity for let's say porumbobe, for sunflower, for that kind of things. At least also for the food for the cows. Apart from most of the part of our land we use for food of our cows from the 7,000 hectares, but we grow also sunflower.
I have a little question here. Yeah, the storage that you mentioned, the 10,000 tons, I guess, yeah?
Yeah.
For the corn, is it your investment? It was a greenfield investment here?
Yeah, it was a greenfield investment. We bought a plot of land, and from this we built from zero. First, we build the storage for 10,000 tons. We have everything automatic there, a labor and that kind of stuff. We are really professional there. And after this, a year later, we build there the good farm. We have there around now 1,800 cows. We can grow a little bit more. And then this farm is also full. But let's say we can have 300 cows more, and then the farm is full. On the other farm, what we take over in the beginning of this year, we built another storage for food and a new milking parlor. We renovate now the old milking parlor, and we start to milk there more cows. In the end goal will be that we have 50% more production than the last year.
Mhm.
But it takes a little bit time. Let's say it takes more than half a year to populate the farm.
Okay.
Mhm. We can see a motto there on the website: happy cows, healthy milk, and happy customers. Very nice. But my question is, have you considered, let's say, vertical integration? Have you considered to become also milk processors?
No, so far we don't consider this because we believe you should specialize in what you're the best at. So we are really good in milk production to deliver a high quality. Currently on the Romanian market, over 50% the milk is imported, mainly from Hungary and Poland. And also they don't deliver the same quality as we do. When we would move on to milk processing, it would ask a lot of different skills. And in general, we believe more in organic growth as well, in a more predictable and safe growth for ourselves and also for our investors. And of course, to go to this market, it would involve a lot of risk. And it is something a complete different skill. So far, there's huge potential for growth on the agricultural sector, especially on the milk part in Romania. As I mentioned, Romania is an importing country, so that we know, that kind of business we know, and we are really good at that in our opinion. So for now, we see there further growth.
I have another question here before we jump to talk a little bit also about the financial results for the first half of the year, to talk also with Gabriel. But I have another question regarding the production of milk. You said Romania needs, or Romania produces around 50%, and the rest is imported from outside. There are some other companies also listed on the Bucharest Stock Exchange, on Aero Market. Also, they have, or there are a little bit like you, producers of milk, also cereals and so on, but they also produce other products like butter, yogurt, and so on. Do you think, do you have in mind also having another business line besides producing and just delivering milk, or making some other products? Cred că a ieșit, nu?
Da.
Cred
Hai
că
să trecem la...
Hai să trecem la rezultatele financiare până când intră ei din nou. Sper că a fost înțeleasă întrebarea.
Mă rog, era ceva asemănător, că întrebasem eu înainte exact în fine. Hai să vorbim cu Gabriel până atunci despre...
Gata că... Okay, so it was a problem with the connection, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you get my question? My last question? No. Okay.
No.
It was a little bit about if you are thinking about having other products. I mean, final products like, I don't know, butter, yogurts, and so on, besides only delivering milk. Producing and delivering milk.
Yeah. Now, for the moment, we don't have any plans on the milk part. As I mentioned, there's still huge potential for growth just to produce milk because of that Romania is an important country. But our first step to this to a final product, let's say, is that we would like to start to develop a composed fabric and to produce composed final products for compost. It can mean compost in big bags for other agricultural companies, or compost in small bags for households, let's say, to fertilize their own garden. We just we just now asked for the building authorization to build this composed fabric, and we are also in far negotiation for the equipment. And we plan to start to construct this composed fabric next year. This will support us further with the sustainability. It will reduce our footprint as well. At the moment, we have a lot of lagoons. They are open where the manure is stored. There also, if you can imagine, comes a lot of water in, which means extra transport costs to transport the manure to the fields. Next to that, there is only a period per year where you can put or bring the manure on the fields. And the rest of the year you need to storage these. So with this fabric, we don't need to build or construct more lagoons. We save transport costs because we only bring manure to the fields and not the water anymore. And next to that, we can set up a new business line and sell this product.
Okay.
Before the numbers, one more question, because Tiberio asked about the industry. Let's say, how you see the agriculture and the milk industry in Romania? You have more than 10 years here. I don't know what are the prospects and what level is to what level it is compared with let's say Netherlands or some other countries at the top level. Yes, how you see develop this industry in Romania, and what about the future of this industry?
I think the future of this industry is great, and there is a lot of potential. The difference between Holland and here, in Holland, when you grow up as a young boy, you go with your father. He have already a farm, maybe with 30 cows in the time when I was young. You grow up there together with him, let's say to 100, 150 cows. You get the experience. Let's say that is what is missing in Romania. You have not really family farms. You have farms with a small number of cows. But from this you get not the experience. And I think the young people get also see not the possibilities what you have. Romania have a lot of possibilities. You have a lot of space. It's importing. The climate, I think, at least in Transylvania, is okay for keeping cows, but till now you not use the potential. So I think for people like us, there is a great future for doing this.
Okay, so that's great news for the business in the future. Let's switch now to a little bit and talk about also the financial results for the first half of the year. And I would like now to introduce Gabriel, the financial director, or the responsible with the numbers, let's say. And Gabriel, I saw for the first half of the year, you had some good numbers, good increase in revenues, also in the net income. And I would like to ask you, what's your perspective on this? Is this according to budget, or how do you see the numbers and this accomplishment?
Yes, the evolution of the financial position of the Agrar Group companies, it's according to the budget. In my point of view, we will make the budgeted figures that we have for this year. See also there is a big evolution on the turnover, which increased with 241.4% regarding the first half of the year 2021. The gross profit increased with 173.3% regarding last year, and the net profit increased with 135.3%. The operation income increased with 261.4%. The incomes from sold production increased with 246.9%. and the incomes from subvention increased with 244.6%. These increases are due to the fact that last year, the first half of the year, we didn't have Lacto Agrar and then Agrar Apol farms. These farms were purchased. Lacto Agrar was purchased by the DN Group companies at the end of December 2021, and DN Agrar Apol was purchased in April 2022. So the figures of the first half of year 2022 include 2 extra farms, Lacto Agrar and DN Agrar Apol. So this is why the evolution is really significant.
Yes, and maybe relative to the milk production, maybe the last month of the year will increase this production. Yes, it's like this.
Yes, the production will increase a little bit. We have also more cows in DN Agrar Apol farm. Now the current investment that we have there, it's almost finished, so we will start bringing more cows there and milking more cows. So yes, there will be more milk at the end of the year.
And I would like to ask you here, because you said something about the investments and these increases that we see here on the slide in revenue, in net income, and so on. Was it made, or let's put it other way? What's your exposure on debt, on banking? I mean, is this leverage with credit, with money from banks, or with own money?
Yes, partly we did the capital increase last year in order to purchase Lacto Agrar farm. We take from the market 5 million euro for this. And the second purchase of DN Agrar Apol was with a loan from ING. We took a loan this year for 33.2 million lei, and we bought the farm from DN Agrar Apol.
Okay, and besides this, because we talked at the beginning of our discussion, there are several business lines. What were the main contributors to these numbers, to these figures? Can you tell us which business lines contributed? I mean, more.
The milk production.
The milk
This is
production.
our main business line
Okay.
in this moment.
About the cereals and also milk, but about the economic situation in general in the industries. You know what happened this year with high inflation, with interest now growing very, very quickly from the central banks. You know the war here in Ukraine and have problems, change supplies and everything. What's your prospect? What's your view about this economic situation and the impact on your own activity? What you're saying about, and have we peaked, or we will see more damage in the future?
Yes, all of these things that you mentioned have an impact on the business environment. But for example, the part of the interest we can mitigate. Let's say we change the loans from lei to euro. The ROBOR now it's 7%. The Euribor it's less. It's 1-2. So there we can change the things. With the war and inflation, this we cannot change. But this is compensating with the increase of the milk price on the markets, on the European markets. So mostly, I think this will not have a big impact on our business in this moment.
Okay, since we have a live webinar here, we have also some questions in the chat, and let's take the first one, and then we will see on the way. So it's like this: how big is your exposure to your biggest buyer of raw milk? And I don't know, do you intend to diversify your partnership in the future or something like this? Can you tell us a little bit about this?
No, of course I can't disclose figures how big our exposure is to a supplier that's our client of us. But of course, we always look to diversify our client base, but also we need to be realistic. The companies that are available on the Romanian market, we believe you have some big players, but also many small players. But the disadvantage from those small players is in general that they don't pay on time or they don't pay at all. So there are many risks involved. So we prefer to have a really stable relationship with big players where we can count on and that they can count on us, on our quality that we deliver every day and the amount of liters. With our current suppliers, we still are able to grow. They request more and more milk because all those companies, they also import from abroad. So but of course, when there is a good opportunity to diversify, we're really open to that. That can be inside Romania, that can be outside Romania. That doesn't matter for us, but mainly we like to work with the bigger companies, let's say, to have predictability, safety, etc. And also regarding professionalism, we had also in the past with some smaller players, they play a bit with the quality of the milk, let's say. They always tell us that the quality is not okay to get a discount or to lower the price. So the diversification sounds really nice, and I completely understand, but it doesn't always bring more. It's especially not here on the local market. But we always look for opportunities.
Okay, that's a good answer. And let's take another one. Do you think it would be a good investment in the future to make a biogas plant, or did you think about it until now?
We was thinking about this. We have some sun panels from the past, from 2014, I think. Till now, it was not really profitable to invest in biogas. It's different when you look at Germany or Holland. There you have a fixed contract with the state for at least for a minimum price for 20 years. So you can count on this. In Romanian, they say you cannot 100% count on this. I think the story also with the green certificates from 6 till 3 till only that they pay 1. So till now it was not a profitable business. You see some biogas in Romania, but nobody makes profit from this. Now the world was changed, let's say since February. So we are looking now also for sun panels and that kind of things on the roof, and biogas will be a second one. We do not know if it is for a long time or not a long time, and let's say sun panels is more stable than biogas. But that is an opportunity. But now the last 10 years, everybody speak about this. But you see in the western part of Europe, they developed this. But in Romania, was not interesting to do this.
I have a quick question here, Cătălin, just a little, please. We talked about the increasing in prices and this inflation, and I would like to ask you about the increasing pricing of electricity and gas. Yeah. And I would like to know if you could manage these increases, and what was the impact in your business lately? I mean, in the last 6 months, let's say, was it big or is it manageable? The increased price in electricity and gas, if you use it, yeah.
Yeah, when you look at the electricity, let's say electricity is not a big cost from us. Let's say it goes from 1 to 2% from our cost. So there is not. The gas price had a bigger impact. Fertilizer is much more expensive. When you look at fertilizer, you pay 3 times, maybe more, but more than 3 times more than last year. So fertilizer had a bigger impact. We solve a part of this. We use only our own manure from the cows to bring it on the fields. So we are not depending only on fertilizer. So we drop also the fertilizer. We use better and more our manure from the cows. So there is what much more expensive. What we are buying is a lot of protein for the cows. Now the price was really growing. So there, let's say, there we are affected. But when you count everything, then our milk price was better growing than the total cost, let's say.
Mhm. Let's change a little bit the subject. You are a public company. You are listed at Romanian Stock Exchange, BVB, from February. I have some questions here. First of all, why you choose to be public, and let's say, what's your experience with the capital market in this short period of time?
Now, let's say mainly the first reason was the development stage of our company. Through the capital market, we saw the possibility to integrate all the farms we somehow managed in Romania. There were all different investment groups behind each farm. So through the capital market, it gave us the opportunity to integrate all those companies and to become the biggest milk producer in Romania. And also, we think it is the ideal way to give us extra finance options to grow in a faster way. It can be through the capital market or with bank financing or combinations, but it gives us more flexibility to grow and to set next step to maintain our position, let's say, and to broaden that. In general, we feel really welcomed. Of course, there are a lot of new things we need to think about. So questions. It's different. Before we had Dutch shareholders where we communicated directly with and also reported directly. We are never really intended to be really open or out in the open in Romania. We never had that necessity. That's something we need to change now. It's also a comment that we sometimes hear that we should be more visible. We work really hard on this, like today, to accept your invitation. And also we go to other events. We start a newsletter. We will do a Euroland integration for investors with our website where they can do their own financial analysis. Also, one of the requests was to also report in the first quarter of the year. We decided to follow the other agricultural businesses because of the seasonality. In our opinion, the first quarter is not so relevant, but we see that it is a request from the investors on the Romanian market. So from next year, we will also report the first quarter for this reason. But we need to explain really well that you have the seasonality and that in the first half year, you have a lot of input, let's say, and the second part of the year, you have income from this. And also in the first 3 months, you don't use your machinery, etc. In the winter, you only repair, etc. So there is a low activity, which of course really influence the profit. But it is a clear request, so we try to show that we listen to the concerns of our investors.
Yes, you answer also to the relation with investors I was supposed to ask you, but I have another 2 quick questions and we finish with this. What you have a plan to move to the main market, but for this you have to report IFRS 3 years in a row, something like this. Maybe from 2024, no, 2025 will be the move because I suppose next year is too quickly, no?
Yes, we currently implement SAP. Today we had a kickoff for the SAP implementation in Denegar Polt, Roodlak, that's our Jongstock farm, and Denegar Koet. We finalized today, like a few days ago, the implementation in Agrar. So by the end of the year, at least all the farms will operate in SAP. This will digitize and automate our processes, but also it will help to faster consolidate. Now we have 15 companies, and that's the reason we can't report faster, let's say, because they need to be consolidated, which is a lot of work and a complex process. But through this SAP implementation or this ERP system, it helps us day by day business of the optimization of processes, and we can report faster and more often. Next to that, we have almost finalized the new corporate governance in preparation for the main market, as well as the IFRS. We are working on this. And our goal is, but of course it already depends on the market conditions at that time, to go in 2024 or at latest in 2025, but our main goal is to do it in 2024 to go to the main market.
And the last one, very quickly, you see our stock market. What they lost a decade years before. We have a small capital market, but what, from your opinion, what has to be done by BVB to catch up the Central European Stock Exchange? Because we are a small stock market, we don't have liquidity, we don't have big companies. Last year, okay, it was a very good one, but what has to be done to catch up the other Central European markets, in your opinion?
For
It's a
sure.
difficult one, yes.
Yeah. Now it probably has partly to do with some branding, and of course it would also really help if more companies would go there. Of course, Romania hosts many companies, but maybe not so many headquarters. I think there is first thing, because those decisions are made by the headquarters, let's say. And of course, when the headquarters is in Romania, of the bigger companies, they have more connection also with that country, and if they want to get listed, they will probably start at least on the Romanian Stock Exchange and maybe later upgrade. So if you have a policy to have also more the headquarters here, maybe that could help. And other things in general, I think it is also predictability is what we mentioned with the biogas, predictability of government. We have many government changes and these kind of things, of course, that makes a market a bit insecure if you have every year those changes in the government that influence the market, let's say. And that, yeah, when it's unpredictable, it's maybe a bit scary to go. That are the two main things where I can think of now.
Mm-hmm. Since you are on the aero market, it's the, let's say, the secondary market of the Bucharest Stock Exchange, or the smaller one. First of all, what I would suggest to do to you is to have a good or a very good investor relation, because retail investors need to know who is behind the business, who owns that business, who is running that business, how good or how prepared it is, the CEO, the CFO, the board members, if you have board members, how good they are, and how good they are at executing the plans, because once they budget something at the beginning of the year, if they do not follow, or if they do not have those results, the investors would be a little bit upset, because they feel like I don't know, something else happened there. Anyway, before we switch to future plans, I would like to take also another question from chat, which is quite interesting, and I think our viewers. So given as you said, given the existing gap in milk supply, so Romania is producing 50% and we import something like another 50%. How much do you think it will influence your business in the future? And how long do you anticipate this deficit to stay here?
Now, if you see currently the things that are happening, especially in the Netherlands, but also in Germany, there the agriculture sector will change heavily. Like they will produce way less milk. It will be way smaller farms, because those countries are really density populated. In Romania, you have a huge country. It's 5 times bigger. It's approximately 5 times bigger than the Netherlands. But you have almost smaller population than we have. So there's a huge potential for growth. You have huge of land. So we expect, in general in the world, the milk consumption is growing. Next to the current things that are occurring in Western Europe, there's a huge potential for Eastern European countries. Next to Romania, that's I believe Ukraine, and probably Hungary and Poland, for those kind of countries to be one of the main food suppliers for all of Europe. dairy. So we don't see any effect whatsoever. We see huge potential for growth. For that, we have already a building authorization for Agrar Straža. That will be another farm for approx 5,000 dairy cows plus young stock. If we would finalize that project, it would be the biggest farm in Romania. But things need to go step by step. We are not an IT company, so also the Romanian legislation is not always prepared for the farms on our scale yet. Let's say they are still more focused on the farmers in the villages. So things move on sometimes a bit slow. Let's say so. Agricultural investment you should really see from the long term. At least that is our opinion, and we like to do it in a safe way. So to optimize things, we need also to educate our people. A lot of employees we send to Germany or to the Netherlands to educate them, because there's a huge gap of knowledge when they from the Romanian universities directly. It's hard to implement them directly to the farms. So all these kind of things delay certain things or optimizations. But we see huge potential to grow on that part, and that also sustains again with the compost fabric. With that, we can help more cows, and we don't need necessarily to grow so much in land. Let's say, which is way more unpredictable. Also, there you depend a lot on the weather. Let's say, and with the milk, we can really make sure that we have a constant flow.
Yeah, agriculture, it's heavily dependent on weather and on water, especially because water is very important. And as you said, in order to have a good production, big production, you have also to invest in technology, new technologies and new machines. I would like also to introduce in our discussion the CEO, Mr. Jean. And please, the first half of the year was a very good one. You had a good start. We saw the numbers; they increased more than 100%. If we compare it to 2021. Please tell us a little bit about your future plans and how do you think you will close 2022?
My knowledge still so far, and my feeling is that we close the second half better than the first half. That's really clear for me.
Okay.
And then the plans for the future, what Peter already mentioned, the compost. That's what the first step what we will do. We are starting already with 1,000 boxes extra in a port to populate this with cows. So I think there March, April we will be full there with cows. And the next step is to grow to build a new farm. That are the new things what is let's say really close to us. But I expect a better half year than the first half year.
Okay, thank you. Cătălin, do you like to switch or to take a little bit look at the graph?
Yeah, the image 1 minute all for the investors. It's a bear market now, we all know, but very interesting the price, because we have here resistance zone and then historic price, 0.82, and then this bear market. But very nice these days. We have great and strong, very very strong support here. It's a 61.8 FIBO. It's these two lines. So I think if the price will stay above 0.67, they have big chances to go, at least to stay above this zone. Otherwise, if the sellers return, we can see 0.60 maybe, I don't know, but this is very very important. Anyway, the volumes are very low level, so it's not very very important the graphic now, because we have there's not it's only 8 months, yes, 7.5 8 months for trading. I don't know the free float, it's something like 20 25, something like this. I don't remember exactly the free float,
something
but
like this. Do you plan to grow it or you will stick to it, I don't know, in the near future?
No, of course, we plan to grow it, especially as our goal is go to the main market. So no, our plan to grow it, not in the upcoming months, let's say, but it should be more visible when we go to the main market.
Okay.
I have a quick question before Tiberiu to let you. You are a growth company, as we see, and maybe some of the investors could ask, can you give dividend or to pay a dividend, can you consider? But I think the answer is your plan is to grow, huh? To use the capital for develop and grow. Huh? What is the plan?
Yeah, our plan is to grow, but of course, we are not deaf or whatsoever. So we also listen to our investors. So of course, throughout our strategy, we always will analyze what are the wishes to investors and how can we be successful together. How we see it now is to grow the company. We are a bit more longer here than 10 years. If you see the scale of the farms, professionalism of the farms, the technology that we use. We think there's huge potential for fast scalability. But of course, if there is somehow a request from the market, we will analyze it and we will discuss that during our shareholders meetings to see what's the best way to move on. But for as we see it now, we would like to grow the business.
We are approaching the end of this meeting, and I would like to ask you in the final, what are the main risks actually that you can see in the near future, and that can affect your business? I don't know, till the end of the year or in the next 1 or 2 years. Which are the main risks that you are focusing on right now? Besides war and besides, I don't know, increasing pricing in electricity.
I think in the end, the main risk is still the weather. We depend, let's say, from the fields, at least for silo maize and lucerne for the cows. That is, I think, the biggest risk. We try to minimize this, that we do the things with the right technology on the right time. By example, we have we built, let's say, I don't know how we crop at least 30 kale. We can look in the spring. We use it for silo or we use it for bobber. Now there we try to take out the risk, but still the weather is a risk. For the rest, I see not so many risks. We do a lot of prevention, also with sickness, illness. When you look at our cost for the cows, for medicines, etc., 80% what we do is from the cost is preventive. So we try to do our best, at least to not come in these cases.
I saw, so you have something like 7,000 hectares. Did you think, or do you think in investing in irrigation here something, or not?
I'm thinking not to invest in irrigation. We are, let's say, in a hilly landscape. Should be cost a lot of money, and the effort is not so big. What we're doing is, let's say, when people want to sell the land, we buy the land, but that's not irrigation. But to buy the land, is that necessary? Okay, maybe from a profitability, but let's say our rent contracts are between 10 and 15 years, so there is not, let's say, a huge pressure to do it.
Okay.
Okay. We are at the end of the show, but no, we are not closing. Before each one of you, please deliver a short message for the investors, actual investors and future investors. Let's start with you, Gabriel.
What I want to say is that the food industry, it's a good investment for the future. So this will grow in the end. it's a good thing to invest in.
Okay, very clear. Peter?
Now, first of all, I would like to thank our current shareholders for the confidence they have in our company and our project and future plans. I would like today to invite you next year, probably in April, we will have an Investors Day where you can visit several farms, and there we will show you that we work on the Western European standards, on that we have the most professional farms in Romania, with big milking rotors, etc., the most modern technology on our machinery on the fields. And I hope then the potential investors who still didn't invest in the Agrar or who are thinking to invest in our company, that they also will invest. And we will make sure that we will deliver you a sustainable growth in an organic way. And on that, I would say you can count on the Agrar. We have an extreme professional team. All of our employees, besides my father, are Romanian, and most of them, they work already for 10 years in our company. It's a really stable. We are a really stable organization, and we are really proud of that. That the two Dutch men over here do this with all our local Romanian colleagues every day to sustain and to help develop the food supply in Romania. Thank you.
Jan de Boer, you have the last words today.
Yeah, thank you for this. I should ask our shareholders, when you have questions, send it to us. We start, let's say, this journey 1 year ago. In February, we was going to the Bursa. We not know everything. We learn. We learn also from you. And when you have questions and also advice how we can improve, you're really welcome to send it to us, that we are both growing together.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
That's
Good luck for the future.
Thank you very much again. Have a nice evening.
Thank you very much.
Încheiem aici
Bye.
ediția de astăzi, una specială ați văzut. Ne revedem mâine la aceeași oră. Până atunci, seară plăcută și, evident, profitabilă. La revedere!